Last week, the Lowell American Legion was illegally entered by some individuals, and in the process they did probably tens of thousands of dollars of damage that really wasn't called for. And in the process they broke into a safe that took a large sum of money. Our detective bureau has been working on this since that time, and we are now in a position to give you some more details as to the arrest or the indictment of probably 6 people that were involved in that. And I'm going to turn it over to Lieutenant Lockhart, who is our Detective Bureau Commander, and he will fill you in on the details.
Thank you all for coming. As the Sheriff stated, on August 19th, beginning of this week, deputies and detectives began an investigation into the American Legion Post 750 breaking and entering. Anywhere from $10,000 to $20,000 worth of damage was done, and approximately $5,000 in cash stolen. Yesterday, on the 21st of August, with the assistance of the public through our anonymous tip website, information we derived from deputies, detectives were able to develop some suspects in this case. Yesterday, during the course of interviews, several interviews, detectives effectively made one arrest on a Hunter Henthorn of Marietta. He was charged with receiving stolen property and tampering with evidence in connection with this crime. We were also able to identify 2 juveniles, which we will not name because they're juveniles, and 2 other adults that will face criminal charges through our grand jury indictment in the upcoming weeks. Any questions?
Charges themselves.
Yeah, the charges will stem anywhere from safe cracking, B&E, receiving stolen property, and tampering with evidence. We were able to recover approximately $1,049 in cash that was stolen, along with several firearms, 2 Smith & Wesson pistols, 2 Black Hawk holsters associated with those pistols, numerous boxes of ammunition for the pistols, as well as a car stereo that these individuals used the stolen money to purchase for themselves.
Brian, would you mention the interaction between the juveniles and the adults and how that occurred?
Yes, sir. Our investigation revealed that the 2 juveniles are in fact the ones that committed the B&E and the destruction of all the property in the Legion. However, the juveniles reached out to the adults, Hunter Henthorn, James Heron, and Devin Lindsay. They made arrangements with them to be picked up and to hide the money in a safe at James Heron's residence in 102 Michigan Avenue here in Lowell. And that's how they were able to come in contact with them.
Who was the 4th adult?
The 4th adult, not sure if we're going to charge him yet, but he's been advised that that's possible. It'll be Anthony Seavers.
How was the relationship with the juveniles?
The relationship started with Devin Lindsay, who was an acquaintance of one of the juveniles, and the rest of the adults are friends with Devin Lindsay.
And was the $5,000 in cash taken specifically from Post 750 or a combination?
Yes, sir. That was what all indication through the interviews. That's the amount of cash that was taken from Post 750. That's an estimate from members of the Post out there in Lowell. Through our interviews, the adults advised us that they had approximately $4,400 in cash. So it'd be in that juvenile area.
Was there a reason given why they targeted the American Legion?
No, other than what we decided, just talking to the juveniles and just targeting opportunity out early in the morning hours, unsupervised by parents.
Did they give a reason why they decided to vandalize it?
No.
Does the pool have any tie in any of this, the Lowell pool?
Yes, juveniles did admit to be breaking at the pool as well.
Damage to the pool, including?
No damages.
Anything taken?
Just miscellaneous change, candy bars, pop, soda.
Do you know if this is related to the American Legion breaking up the American Legion Post 64? Because we've been broken into in the last 3 years.
Do not. Don't have any knowledge of it being related to anything.
Have you been in communication with the police department to see if that might be a
I have not. at this
relationship?
Any court dates been set?
I don't know the court date just yet. Mr. Henthorn was arrested last night, so the court will set a date for a preliminary hearing. It's usually on a Wednesday, the following Wednesday, so it'll be next week, 25th or 26th, I would assume.
What's the attitude of those involved right now? Is there any remorse or do they not even care?
Yes, actually some of the adults that were involved showed up at the office to turn back over some of the money and items that they had purchased with that stolen money.
I would be surprised if the break-ins with Marietta and Lowell would be related because these kids didn't have transportation. They were on foot and they just were walking around. That was the crime of opportunity.
And have the juveniles had any criminal history? Was there any trouble in school or anything that might have motivated this?
As far as school, I don't know. There's no criminal history that we're knowledge of.
Do we know the American Legion in Lowell do they have insurance that will help them recover?
I do not know if they have insurance. I know that they spoke about it. They were going to reach out and see what kind of coverage they would have that might include, B&Es and damages like that.
The juveniles are, so you said they're on foot, so are they from the local area?
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
And the cash was recovered at James Heron's property?
Now, that's where it was stored to be
stored.
hidden. We recovered the cash from each of the 3 adults so far, a different location.
You said at least one of them came to you to return it. Do you know which one that was?
2 of them did, in fact. Devin Lindsay and James Heron.
Some of the adults have purchased quite a few firearms also, and we were able to recover the firearms, and they'll probably be forfeited to the Lowell Post or sold or something to try to, take care of the damages.
The firearms were purchased with the stolen money?
Yes.
So the firearms you said were purchased, there was none stolen from the actual location?
None stolen. They were purchased.
What are the ages of Hunter, James, and
13.
the juveniles?
Oh, they said
Or
the age of the
13.
juvenile.
Juveniles are 13, okay.
Yes.
But no, I meant the adults.
Hunter Henthorn is 22 years old. Devin Lindsay is 24 years old. And James Heron is 27 years old.
And you said there was an Anthony Seepers involved?
Correct.
And what was his age?
He's 18.
18. And as far as the community goes, should they feel comforted after the quick arrest like this, the quick turnaround, or should they, some people might be skeptical, but the work of law enforcement is obviously encouraging to the community?
Yeah, I would hope that they're satisfied with the quick arrest and conclusion of this case. Any investigation that we start, we try to bring peace to the public and anyone that's involved, try to bring them closure so they know that everybody's has been apprehended or at least interviewed and ruled out at the time. We're confident that everybody involved with these recent break-ins there in Lowell has been identified and will formally be charged.
Do you happen to know what the motive was, cash or?
No, I think it's just the juveniles is just a crime of opportunity, as the sheriff mentioned, out in the early morning hours, supervised.
Usually see juveniles up early in the morning. How early are we talking?
We believe this occurred between 1 a.m. and 4 a.m.
It's more like late at night than early.
Early morning hours.
Yeah. Do you know if the post was, the doors were locked? How did they get in?
They climbed on the air conditioning unit, up onto the roof and through a window.
Not the normal method of entry to the post.
And what other damage, vandalism?
Countless irreplaceable memorabilia in there was destroyed as far as trophies, plaques with past members' names on it. They used the kitchen knives in there to slash the seats where everybody would sit in there. Threw eggs all over the interior of the post, ruining different items. They plugged the toilet and the sink on the upstairs, third floor, and turned the water on. We had no idea how long the water was running, but it soaked through all 3 floors of the Legion, ruining the carpet, floor, stuff that they had stored in the basement part, the bottom floor as well.
The money.
Sorry, has there been any outreach to them specifically about maybe a GoFundMe page that they're doing, or maybe that the community
Not
is
yet at this
organizing?
time. Nothing I'm aware of.
The money was in a safe, correct?
Correct.
They stole from. How did 2 juveniles get into the safe?
With the use of a hammer.
So it was more of a smaller, kind of a Walmart safe, not a.
It wasn't what you think. What you're thinking, like one of the real tiny ones. It wasn't, so it was all
Right. Okay.
in between. So.
How did these kids even know to get on the roof or to?
I don't think they did. I think they just tried it. It worked. Ran into a limit.
And do you expect or have any idea what the sentencing would be for the juveniles? Is it too hard to kind of gauge, or have you dealt with a similar situation like this?
It'll be up to the courts when that happens. Once we sit down in conjunction with our prosecutor's office and decide which charges that we're going to move forward with, the judge will make that determination on the severity of the case and the type of charges that we bring forward.
And the minors are getting most of the charges, more than the adults, because the adults seem to be just conspiring.
No, everybody will actually probably get the same amount of charges. They'll just be different. The juveniles obviously will commit the B&E and safecracking, but the adults participated in tampering with evidence and receiving stolen property, which is an amount more than $1,000, which makes it a felony as well.
Did you speak with the parents of the juveniles at all?
Yes.
How was their reaction to this?
They were upset.
Did they have anything to say about past behavior or anything like that?
Not that I can release.
So you said some of the tips came through the anonymous tip website that you guys have set up. Can you explain a little bit more about how that is helpful in investigations? Why you would encourage people to continue to use that?
It's very helpful. In this case, some of the anonymous tips that we received were in fact the people that were connected and committed this crime. We've had some great success with the anonymous tip website just recently with the armed robberies in Beverly and Lowell. We were able to derive some information from anonymous tips that come in. It's always a positive thing for the community when they can work well with law enforcement and we can help them out at the same time. Giving them the freedom to give us information without backlash or worry of being confronted by somebody about it.
Were there any cameras?
No, Lowell did not have
No cameras.
No, sir.
Why are you unsure about charges for inmates?
We just wanted, yesterday was such a hectic time with the amount of interviews that we were doing. His involvement in this case is very minimal. We would just want to take the time to look back, re-listen to our interviews, everybody's statements, before we make a determination whether we formally charge him or not. He was advised that potentially could be charged in the near future, but that final decision has not been made yet.
And again, with the effect on the community, how would you want the community to react? Not to lash out against, family of the ones accused and things like that, and just let law enforcement do their job and handle
Yeah, we
it?
never want to see any type of retaliation against suspects or defendants. People, as well as I do, good people make mistakes. Not everybody's a bad person who commits a crime. So we would encourage people not to retaliate on something like this. It's been handled. We've investigated it. We'll let the court system and the justice system take care of that.
I would like to say thank you on behalf of the veteran community. You guys did an outstanding job in this point so far. Obviously, your role's kind of complete here. We're moving forward with the court process. So thank you and how quick, expedient that you guys were in this to help and of course the tip line, whoever those anonymous callers were or emails. The veteran community really appreciates that.
Thank you. Appreciate your support.
Good job.
And as a member of Post 750 in Lowell and a resident of Lowell, we really appreciate the quick response and the quick closure to this.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate that.
And I will say this, you brought up about the community, how safe they'll feel. They really feel safe. This is, 72 hours, this case is solved. It's invaluable.
Absolutely.
Any other questions?
No, sir.
No shots. My usual questions.
Well, thanks again for everybody coming.